Hey friend, it's Kanshamari. How have you been? How's the family? Work? How's your heart? Welcome back to Momoyo na Mamoyo, a space where we speak heart to heart, life to life, where we sit with the realities we pray about and the ones we don't always prepare for. Today our conversation is going deep, very deep. I think our conversations are very deep all the time. But our topic today is when prayers collide.
Let's dig in, shall we?
Now let me start with a question. Have you ever prayed so hard for something, fasted, cried, reminded God just in case he quote-unquote forgot, only for him to answer you like he's clearing a backlog? Go on. Because for years you prayed for a job, for stability, for purpose. You prayed for love, real, intentional, God-fearing love. You prayed for marriage. You even added, Lord, a baby please too. I'm ready. And then suddenly, boom. 6 job offers, 3 relocation opportunities, 5 serious suitors. Serious. Not like your, I like the way you smile, I like the way you breathe, Okay, let me stop goofing around. But now, imagine after all these things you've prayed for start coming, you're tired, not from lack, but from options. And you're like, God, this is not what I meant by overflow. Because now instead of asking God when, you're asking God, which one before I faint? This is the part nobody prepares you for. Life teaches us to suffer, to navigate the lows and the trenches and the mountains. Life teaches us to wait, and to be honest, the virtue of patience is lacking in many of us. So the waiting is a very hectic lesson for all of us. But abundance, abundance comes with its own pressure. As the Shona say, chakafukidza dzimba matenga. What's under the roof of one home is not the same as another. People see your answered prayers and think it's all a soft life, basically. Meanwhile, you're there stressed, holding 5 good options like hot plates, because now every decision feels like a final exam. Chi NMCZ, chi. Chizimse, Cambridge, what? Do you take the job that pays well, or do you take the one that aligns with your purpose? Do you choose the one who treats you like royalty, or the one you feel you can build a legacy with? Do you relocate or stay where your roots are deep? And somewhere in all of this, fear comes in, in a step, I'm your uninvited guest, and whether you like it or not, I'm here. Making the wrong choice, fearing missing out, fearing your aunties saying, we told you so, fearing people going, fear of you rushed, and there's something about when you make choices and things don't turn out the way you anticipated. There's always the I told you so aunties in the background and the unsolicited, advices in quotes that come from your closest people, So the question is, what do you do when blessings become decisions? Well, first, you pause. Like, take a chill, because not everything that is good is yours. As another Shona proverb says, Kandiro kanuenda kunomva kamwe. What goes around comes around, but not everything that comes is meant to stay. Discernment becomes more important than desire, because desire says, I like this, and I would look good with this. But discernment asks, is this aligned with my purpose or just my feelings on a good day? Second, you check your alignment. Are you choosing from pressure or from purpose? Because pressure will rush you, pressure will give you an unrealistic deadline. Like those people who send question marks when you haven't replied in like 3 seconds. Variko, they're there. Let me just digress a bit. There's a guy I once dated who would send you a message. If he says good morning and you happen to be online and you have not answered in like 2 seconds, he would follow that up with question marks. And if you still don't answer, he would follow that up with those googly eyes. And if you still haven't answered, he'd follow that up with like 3 to 7 missed calls. It was ridiculous. But yeah, but purpose is calm. Purpose haina chijangandi chine pressure, Pressure panics. It brings panic into your life. But purpose doesn't panic you. You don't feel like, oh my goodness, if I don't do this here, what? It sits well in your spirit. There's a peace beyond human understanding. 3, release the need to please everyone. Your family will have options for you too. In fact, your mom might have the perfect one for you. Your dad might think his colleague's son will better suit you. Your friends will have suggestions about the best country for you to go and stay. Even your church group might have confirmations, about what you should do about a situation. But listen, one person cannot surround an anthill alone. What are we saying? Community matters, yes, but the final decision, the final one, that one is yours. Because if the whole village helps you to make the decision, in most cases, you end up living a life that is not yours. You're living other people's dreams, other people's hopes, other people's expectations. Sometimes the version of you that prayed is not the same version of you that has received. You have grown, you've changed, even your taste has changed. What you used to call perfect, in quotes, now needs prayer and reconsideration. Finally, you trust, not blindly, but deeply, because the same God who answered your prayers is not sitting in heaven confused like, let's see, what should she pick? No, you're not being set up. You are being trusted to follow through your purpose. Maybe the real blessing was not just the opportunities, but the wisdom you gained while waiting. Let's reflect. So if you are in that season where everything is coming at you once, where your phone is ringing, emails are coming in, and your heart is overwhelmed, pause and ask yourself, 1, where do I feel peace? 2, what aligns with my purpose? 3, am I choosing from fear or faith? 4, what decision allows me to remain whole? Because what is truly for you will not require you to lose your peace to keep it. What is truly for you will not steal your joy. What is truly for you will not put you in a corner kukumbunyikidza kuti it must. No. The word reminds us in Proverbs 3:5-6, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him and he will make your path straight. In 1 Corinthians 14:33, for God is not a God of confusion, but of peace. Saka, if your decisions bring about confusion, pray. Stop and just say, God, this is you. Make a way. Because he is the way. So if it feels chaotic, go back to him. And if it brings you peace, pay attention. I want you to just stop and think of this moment when prayers collide. When all you've prayed for comes at once in numbers, it's not confusion, it's transition from lack to overflow. And the question is no longer, will it happen? The question is, who am I becoming as I choose? I'll ask, Manga majgaere? Because where will you eat from when the table is full? Are you going to run from left to right or from north to south? Are you going to start with the dessert and then come to the main course? Or are you starting with the starters? I want you to stop and meditate and think upon how you would handle prayers colliding. Even now that you have your diploma, now that you have your degree, now that you have the job offers and there's like 7 of them, now that you have those suitors and there are like 3 of them and they all seem legit, now that you have the opportunities to travel, what will you do? Thank you for joining me again on Momoyo na Momoyo. It's always wonderful. We keep it real, we keep it rooted. And yes, sometimes we laugh through the pressure and digress and get carried away in my little tunyayas, etc. Until next time, stay grounded, stay discerning, stay anchored in your purpose, and never ever lose sight of the bigger picture. Live passionately. I love you. Bye.